Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I am at Assateague Island National Seashore and am about to start loading the boat. The weather is pretty much perfect. I have a southerly wind going where I want to go. It's overcast and in the 60s. I am in the dry suit, which I was not anticipating. The water temperature is in the high 50s. It's not getting above 62. I may be too warm, but better a little too warm than hypothermic. So we'll see. Maybe I won't wear it tomorrow. It's supposed to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, so let's go. Okay, headed south, well, in 4 boat lengths headed south, with what's going to be, I think, a delightful tailwind, pushing me to my first campsite, which is not that far. I think it's 2 nautical miles or 3 nautical miles. Yeah, not far. Short day 1 just to get me started, and then long day 2, medium length day 2, and then long day 3. My paddle back is, I think, 12 miles, so not a horrible day by any stretch, but definitely my longest day is the last day. Yeah, I have to say, this is like dreamy paddling. Perfect tailwind, little tiny rollers, but nothing. No actual sun because it's overcast. I am a little warm in the dry suit, but not too bad. I will say on my last day, on my day back, the wind is supposed to turn so that it's from the south, in which case I will have tailwind both directions, which is really nice. I think the likelihood of that is pretty slim. We'll see. So it might be a slog back, fighting wind, hiding from wind, but we'll see. 2 days out. Okay, doing my last little final navigation into my campsite. Lots of little barriers to these barrier islands. Lots of little outcroppings of grass and such. And so nav can be challenging. I've been to this site before and I'm pretty sure I see it. But also it was extremely flooded last time, so it's going to look a little bit different. Okay, so I think I'm going the wrong way. I think I need to go around from the bottom and approach. So it took me like 32 minutes to get here, and I'm already at 15 minutes to try and get into the campsite. I am optimistic that I have found the way in. Very optimistic. Moderately optimistic. So this is my least favorite part about kayak camping, is that I've now got to empty the boat and pull all the gear up to my campsite, which is not that far. It's probably a 45-second walk, and then I got to secure the boat. Like I'll tie it off with my tow rope to a stout tree. The tide is only rising about a foot here, so I'm really not worried about it, but the boat will be up nice and high. So that's the worst part, is 15 minutes to empty the boat and lug the gear, half an hour or so to set up camp. It's still better than backpacking. Campsites really don't get much better than this. with the exception that I think I'm gonna have some other people here tonight. Yeah, this is pretty great. I would like to be able to see the boat from where I am, but that's pretty minor. Let's build a camp. Still pretty windy. Camp is set up. I'm gonna make myself a quick lunch. I think just a quesadilla, and chill out here in camp and probably read a book, because life is good. Okay, day one comes to a close. Absolutely awesome day. Had a nice dinner, got a fire going, had a whiskey. Fire's looking a little smoky, actually. It's starting to get cold. It's still about 45 minutes till actual sunset, but there's a very weird cloud layer coming in, like almost at ground level. So fog, but not fog at the end of the day seems very weird. I've never really seen something like this. It's kind of weird. So yeah, I'm gonna crawl into a bag, read a book. See you tomorrow. So those weird clouds rolling in last night were just that, but I have not all that much visibility right now. Maybe 300 yards.
The 6 a.m. area weather observations. At Salisbury, fog, reducing the visibility to 1/4 of a mile.
Which is not great, because if you get into this marsh stuff, you won't be able to do what I did yesterday, which was stand up and see where you need to go. So I'm gonna make breakfast and hold off on breaking camp until I feel like I've got enough visibility to go. I think it'll clear up as the sun comes up, but the sun has been up for over an hour and it's hanging around. So we'll see. I got plenty of time, plenty of daylight. I just wanted to check and make sure the boat was still good. And the boat is still good. Okay, so checked marine forecast, and fog like this until noon, which is when the wind is supposed to pick up, which makes perfect sense. I am going to continue with my day as planned. So I'm going to make breakfast and coffee and then break camp, and it's just about 7. I'll probably be ready to paddle at 9:30. A quarter of a mile is not bad. Keep the island on my left. Okay, it is 8:24. Fog is lifting nicely. My big problem today, well, I have 2 big problems today. There is not a lick of wind, which is not bad. It is actually nice. It'll probably be a beautiful glassy paddle. The wind is supposed to pick up around 11. I probably have another 45 minutes before I'm on the water. The wind will probably start picking up probably just as I get there, maybe a little bit after. But that's not the problem. The problem is because there's no wind, it's really buggy, really mosquito-y. And so I am going to get out of here instead of loitering and waiting for a little breeze. The other problem I've got is it's already warmer than it was yesterday. I'm wearing fewer layers under my dry suit. The water is obviously still cold, so it's going to not be a very comfortable paddle. We're going to get the boat loaded and get the heck out of here. 8:54, boat is packed, and I just want to show you one thing, why I love the Delta kayaks. The mistake I made on this trip was I overpacked. I was like, yeah, throw that in. I have way too much stuff. I have 3 bags of food. I do not need 3 bags of food for 3 days. It's ridiculous. But with all that stuff, I still have extra space in my stern. I had a little bit in my front as well. I even have things like spread out a little bit so that they won't move, but that they are balanced within the boat, and I have a ton of extra space. That is why I love my Delta. Okay, so my compass is working today, my deck compass. I must have packed something metal under it yesterday, I don't know what. I'm just skirting some islands to head south, which will really be southwest. 190 degrees will get me in the vicinity of my campsite. Got a little bit of a breeze, not much, a trickle, but it is DFC, it is dead flat calm here. So I can see the fog that I was in this morning, and it really does look more like a cloud layer right at water level than actual fog. And I can't tell if it's burning off or just getting pushed south and towards the mainland. But either way, I'm pretty much in the clear. I can't tell, I think it's closer to me over here, but where I'm going is not inside that bank, so I should be good. So the problem with paddling out here, I'm probably, I don't know, 800 yards offshore, and it's dead flat calm. I've got no real indicators of how fast I'm going, but it just got shallow, and I can see the bottom, and it looks like I'm going at a good clip. So I'm going to take a break in about 10 minutes. That'll be a little bit more than an hour, and I'll see where I am. Now, if I paddle for an hour and 10 minutes, and I estimate I'm doing 2.5 knots, that's 2.5 nautical miles, although I did detour a bit around that first marshy island. But I should be able to use that to pinpoint where I am on the chart, right? I'm going pretty much now in a straight line on 200 on the chart. I had it out at 190, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to bump into anything. So I should be able to figure out about where I am. And then I'll confirm it with a GPS. Paddling in conditions like this is remarkably like paddling on like the world's most beautiful treadmill. It really doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere. So one of my favorite things is these two guys behind me are harvesting shellfish, oysters and bay scallops. Just super cool guys out here, you know, doing their thing. The oysters and the bay scallops are great for the environment and they taste good. So yeah, just really like seeing that. Okay, just about done. I can see my destination, though I need to find the markers for where the actual campsite is. But I'm sure as I get closer, I'm still about probably half a mile away, I imagine they will become more obvious. Oh wait. Okay, so I can see my takeout. It is 11:52. My plan on paper, which was pretty loose, it was follow this compass bearing for this many miles, which equals this amount of time, should have me here around noon. My average speed, which I checked twice with the GPS to see what I was doing, was between 2.9 and 3.3 knots. In general, I plan for 2.5 knots. And that gives me the ability to stop and take a 10-minute break without it affecting my time. Okay, day 2 is done. It's a little buggy here. Gonna unload the boat, move into camp. Once again, it's probably a 45-second walk back into the woods. Super pretty here if you're looking this way. Not as pretty here if you're looking this way. And not a great landing, but I mean, it's fine, but you know, I guess I'm choosy. Okay, camp is set up and I've had lunch. Mamafuko noodles for lunch. For the win. Best backcountry ramen on the planet. And here's what my plan is. Tomorrow I head back north to get back to the van. It's my longest day and I'm gonna start early. In general, I like on departure days to get out of the backcountry or get that process started early. I'm gonna get up and I might even do a cold breakfast. So get up and get the boat on the water and get heading north. To facilitate that happening faster, I mean, this morning it happened in like 40 minutes, but to facilitate that happening faster, I'm moving stuff back to the boat that I don't need tonight. So I just have foodstuffs here that I need. I just have stuff that I need for tonight. Everything else is gonna go in the boat to speed the process in the morning.
Sun is up. Time to get this ball rolling. Let's get out of here.
Okay, it is 7:54, 7:55, 0.88 miles that way, then make a right. I don't have a ton of battery power. I'll talk about this later, but I had a battery implosion last night, and so I don't have a ton of battery power. But you've seen this coast. Let's just go in the other way. Okay, and like that, I've made my turn north. Oh, northeast my compass is actually telling me. That makes sense, northeast. So 7.3 miles, nautical miles. Let's make it happen. Got the GPS out just because I wanted to see. I've got a bit of a tailwind and just wanted to see how fast I was going. And I'm not really paddling right now, and I'm doing 3.1 knots, 3.2 knots. So that is super nice. It is, because I'm going with the wind, I don't have a breeze anymore, and it is much warmer. So that's the downside of going with the wind, is no breeze, until it's blowing so fast that I get my breeze back. I think that'll be starting when I'm about off the water. When I'm paddling like this, and I'm all alone, and no one to talk to, I do lots of math. If I'm paddling 3 knots for 45 minutes, how far will that take me? I'm trying to rendezvous briefly with another paddler, and so I'm thinking, I'm not positive where he is. We're going to try and hook up via radio. But I'm like, when do I stop and give a shout out and see if he's listening? So it's lots of math. It's very boring. Very boring. At least I have a tailwind today. Ahoy! Good to see you. Huh?
How's your journey?
Fine. Been really beautiful paddling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. I gotta tell you, you turned sideways and the yellow from that boat just popped.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. It's like I saw light reflecting off your paddles first.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then at one point, what?
I saw you with
Oh, okay.
first, and
Yeah.
I could see the paddles.
Yeah, and then at one point you turned sideways and it was like, yellow boat, without a doubt. Yeah. Just had a really nice visit with another paddler, someone who's seen the channel, and we paddled north for just a few minutes. Nice to be paddling with someone after 3 days of paddling alone. And in the process decided we took a break at 10 o'clock. I'm breaking on the hour this morning. And broke out the GPS just to see how much further I had to go. And he and I covered a lot of ground with this tailwind. We were doing over a knot just sitting there, which was nice. So I got about 2.5 miles left to go. And there's a cold drink in my cooler calling my name. I gotta tell you, the paddling here really doesn't get any better. I mean, right down to a tailwind, both directions, that's pretty good. But just beautiful views, great paddling, great campsites, bathrooms. This is a good place to visit. I'll be back here. Hey, if you like this content, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe. That's that button down there. That'd help me out a lot. So I paddled 3 hours, I've gotten to my destination, and it appears there is a children's class on the boat ramp. So I can't quite get off the water.